All right. Well, as y'all know, my hold on wrestling has gotten very thin, and WWE is now officially off my radar, especially after recent events, which I'm not going to talk about. Their recent events that happened in WWE, you probably already know about them already, so I'm not going to even bother with them. But TNA has been the only wrestling I've watched for about a month or so now, and they've been doing a whole lot of things that I haven't agreed with. So I'm going to continue to talk about that, and I'm going to call them on a few things. Uh, First of all, I want to make a two-pronged case for Samoa Joe. And for the first prong, I'm going to act like Samoa Joe is actually watching this video. I know he probably isn't, but let's say for the sake of argument that he is. Joe, stay away from WWE. Please. For your fans, for wrestling, for yourself, stay the hell away from Stamford, Connecticut. Why? Because they are going to screw you. They are going to mess with your move set. They are going to mess with your personality. They are going to mess with the character that you have been using successfully for several years now, at least since 2003 back in Ring of Honor. That character has become you, and WWE will mess it up if you go to WWE, because Vince doesn't like big men that can move like you can. Joe, uh, he prefers big immobile trees, which explains why Mark Henry and Khali are still around. He doesn't like big men that actually have some mobility with them. I mean, look at Kane. He's a big man that can move relatively well, and he's had one title reign in the WWE, and it was for one day. At the best, Joe, if you go to WWE, you're going to be a mid-carder or even a main eventer on ECW, which at this point has gotten to be worse than being a mid-carder. So just please don't go to WWE. It's not going to be worth it for you. It's not going to be worth the money at all. And secondly, I want to appeal to TNA. What you've been doing to Samoa Joe recently has been horrible. He should have been the one that won all the titles at Hard Justice this past month, because he could have done 3 matches and carried 3 matches a lot better. He would have had a deeper field of potential partners. And even if you didn't ended up pairing him up with Sting like you did with Kurt Angle, Sting and Samoa Joe would work a little bit better, because there would be some respect, and Samoa Joe and Sting being both faces would actually work together better than the current uber heel Kurt Angle and uber face Sting. So what I want to say is this. After you get all 3 titles off of Kurt Angle, and you need to do this as soon as possible, at least get the X Division title off of him at No Surrender and back into the X Division where it belongs. The next thing you need to do is make sure that Samoa Joe wins the World Heavyweight Championship in TNA before 2007 is over. If you do not do this, whatever ground that you have gained, whatever prestige that you have gained in the wrestling world will be lost. People will look at you and say, what the hell happened to TNA? They had so much promise. They had the X Division. They had, they had credible superstars in the main event. What happened? Oh, wait. They let Samoa Joe get away because they didn't make him the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, let me tell you, Samoa Joe deserves the heavyweight title. And if you want to keep him around, if you're serious about challenging WWE, then you need to get this boy the World Heavyweight title, because he deserves it. And and he will be someone that will help carry you into years future and carry you through this slump that wrestling appears to be in. Speaking of things that are slumping, what the hell is going on with the TNA tag division? I mean, we've got LAX, the reunited Triple X. We've got Team 3D and the Steiners feuding with each other. AJ and Tyson are sometimes tag team. And it's either Petey Williams and Shark Boy or Eric Young and Shark Boy. I forget which. Petey Williams and Eric Young are almost interchangeable because neither one of them have been doing very much in TNA, although Petey Williams much less. And then we have the Motor City Machine Guns, Sabin and Shelley, who were recently squashed by VKM. Okay, VKM has not been relevant since the early 2000s when they were has not been relevant since they were still in WWE. They are not in WWE anymore, and they are no longer relevant. So why in the hell have them squash two rising superstars, both of whom could get back the X Division Championship, and both of whom together could be really good tag team champions? And to top it all off, you've got one tag team that was just thrown together to hold the titles, Kurt Angle and Sting, because Kurt Angle's holding all the titles for some inexplicable reason. And he has to have a partner, apparently, even though it would fit his character, his egotistical character, more if he held the titles by himself. And Nance No Surrender, they're going to be defending, I should say, the titles against a barely returning superstar and a football player whose former team, even though they suspended him, won't let him wrestle. Yeah, Sting and Kurt Angle are not going to lose the titles. No, not to Pac-Man Jones and Truth. I don't see it happening. A foregone conclusion match of No Surrender right there. They're not going to lose the tag titles. And meanwhile, we have the tag division going on. We have the most promising tag team out of the group, or one of the most promising tag teams out of the group, the Motor City Machine Guns, getting inexplicably squashed by a tag team that God knows why they're still around. The two highest profile tag teams in TNA, Team 3D and Steiners, are fighting each other, and the rest of the tag team division seems, well, just to be feuding with each other, really, I guess. The way we need to fix the tag team situation right now is start by naming a definitive number one contender. And it can come from whatever tag team challenge that they have going on, or it can come from the winner of the Team 3D Steiners match. Either way, there needs to be a definitive number one contender for Bound for Glory, and whoever that number one contender is needs to be credibly able to win the titles off of Kurt Angle and Sting at Bound for Glory. Excuse me. Because for one thing, that would be huge to win the tag titles on TNA's biggest stage. And also, whoever wins them off of Kurt Angle and Sting, Kurt Angle considered one of the best wrestlers in the industry, Sting a legend in the wrestling business. Whoever wins the titles off of them, instant credibility. No matter how good they are, instant credibility right there, Holmes. That's what TNA needs to do to fix the tag team situation. But, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, in order to come out of this slump completely, they need to get all three of those belts off of Kurt Angle as soon as possible, starting with the X Division Championship. Let Jay Lethal win it back at No Surrender. Let Samoa Joe get the World Heavyweight title before the year is out. That's it.